away from the things that we should focus on, sometimes you get faced with the challenge of, yeah, as we said, there are various hardware options that are there. Although in terms of choosing hardware to have in the office or in the business, that might be dictated by the type of software that you want to run, because there would be compatibility issues or specifications that for hardware that you need to have so that you can run certain type of software. For example, it could be BIM ordering software like ArchiCAD or Revit, or it could be Costex for your cost management work. So how do you like pick one tech solution and not the other one? What factors do you consider in this case? That's what I'm going to talk about right now. And the first thing would be your business needs, as we say, that is the very first, and it's a paramount factor to consider, because you want to bring in software that is useful to the business. Is first useful to the business. It is coming to help you improve your work, not coming in to be a stumbling block, for example, for when it possibly could become hard for maybe people to learn or all that. So how useful is this software in doing quantity surveying tasks? How useful is this software in doing maybe your project management tasks? How useful is the software in doing your site management, site monitoring work? So that's an important point. And on the point of usefulness, there is also the aspect of ease of use of the software. There could be software, of course, that will help you or aligns very well with your business needs, but how easy is it to use? How long will a person take if they are new to using the software, possibly to be able to navigate even the project interactive screen, be able to see the various options that allow them to perform the tasks that they are supposed to perform. So it's important that this software is also easy to use. It could be very useful, but then that usefulness is also qualified by the fact that it should be easy to use for the people that will use it, or also easy to learn for the people that are new to it and want to learn so that they can start working. Okay, then of course, noticing that before you even started this transformation sort of a journey, there were existing tools that you are using, or even other software that maybe other departments or other business partners are using. So you should consider software that will integrate well with the existing tools, because there has to be a process where you are transitioning from using the existing tools to the new ones. And that integration is important. It allows for people to collaborate. It is important because you need to have data exchange from one tool to another tool. So the new one should allow for, maybe you can import information or data from an older software to this one, be able to actually even do more manipulation, and it works well. So collaboration or integration with other software is an important aspect. Yeah, and especially when you are new with the tools, customer support, especially from the vendors of the softwares or the vendors of the tools or from the manufacturers of these tools, it's also important in terms of the considerations you should make. Because if you have challenges, for example, with the software, technical challenges, who do you go to as the first person? Would be the person that makes the softwares, or the person that sold the software to you. So they should be able to offer customer support, a little bit of troubleshooting here and there if you have run into technical issues would be important. And then whether also those vendors or manufacturers of the software or the tools, they're offering training, because training is important as you start to learn, or your people start to learn how to use these systems. Importantly also is the licensing options that are there. Is it software as a service where you're paying a subscription fee? Is it a one-off fee where you just pay a lump sum and you have access to the software, like more of a perpetual license that does not expire? Those options are important. even as much as we have seen most solutions are moving into the subscription business model, but how friendly are also these subscriptions? Because sometimes you find that you are running maybe your business, and in terms of access to work, you may not always have work every month or work every week that needs to use this software, for example. So like if you are doing quantity takeoff, although the project may run for maybe 2 years, where there are other contract phases where there are tasks that you are doing during the contract phase. But if the software would be only for doing the pre-contract phase, then it means when you are done with the pre-contract phase, the software stops being useful. So in terms of licensing, are they going to still charge you even for the time when you are not using the software? Those are some of the considerations you should make. A more flexible licensing option is better, so that you pay for the license to be active when you need to use it. Also, you should look at things like compatibility with your existing hardware technologies that you have, or even the security of both the hardware and those software tools. Because remember, you are dealing with the client data, which sometimes or most of the times is a confidential information. So you do not want this information to leak out to unauthorized people who may use it for malicious uh, things. So security is important. The last point here is on the availability of a dedicated user community. This user community is other people who have purchased maybe the same tools, could be within your geographical region, uh, in the continent, the African continent, for example, or within the country itself. People who, well, like, you see, when you go to, for example, shop online, I'm not sure that it's me who does that, but you would find that people are, or customers are going to browse for the products. You look at the features of the products, you look at who is selling, how much are they selling the product for, and at the bottom, most of the times, there are those reviews. There is a 5-star review, there is a 4-star review, and people have written some sort of feedback on this product I purchased, it was delivered successfully, it is very useful, and all that. Those kinds of reviews, they're important to, it's more of a feedback on how, on I would call it real life usage of the tools that you want to purchase. And it's a social proof of the fact that this solution, or the maker of this solution, has built a successful support and business around the tools. So it's important to have that dedicated user community, which could be also a place where if you run into challenges, you can go and ask questions. If, let's say, for example, the customer support of the tools that you purchased, maybe the manufacturer is not available because for some reasons could be overwhelmed by maybe the number of support tickets that have been raised by the customers, and is trying to attend to each, and you have not been attended to. Maybe you could get support from enthusiastic users who, where, for example, I've seen with ArchiCAD, or yeah, there is a sort of a Graphisoft user community where you can log in, you can post questions, you can post samples of your work, people can critique, people can even give you steps of being able to achieve the same thing more efficiently without wasting time. Like, that user community is important. That is where you can also go and learn. You can get support in terms of troubleshooting if you have technical challenges. Okay.